The question I'm asking myself, or the question we are asking ourselves, is what is the game plan now? What is happening around the deputy president? What is the game plan for the president? And so on and so forth. First of all, you will have noticed that when the president was talking of the new cabinet, there were 21. 7 were for Rigathi, 7 for Ruto, and 7 for Raila. And I've been saying, and I will continue saying, that Moi used to call himself professor of politics, but the real professor of politics is Ruto. Look at the Gen Z. We all said that Ruto has failed, but he has turned the lemon into lemonade. Okay, here he came, and he looked at the way things were 5 years ago. Uhuru had to choose between Ruto and Raila. Uhuru ignored Ruto, went for Raila. You saw what happened. But you see, Ruto now has to choose between Raila and Gachagua. What did he do? And that is why I'm calling him professor of politics. He went to Gachagua first. Give me 7 names. Gachagua came. And there were 10. Now he gave some of his kujazia 3. Gachagua did not wait for the 12 cabinet ministers to be mentioned. 21. He went around, hey, mlima imechukuliwa, hey, mlima imechungwa, mlima imechungwa, mlima imeangaliwa, mlima imefanya namna gani. Not knowing that he was going into a trap. Now he had shown his teeth. Then Ruto went to Raila. Give me 7 names. Raila wanted 4. And he wanted to give the 3 to Azimio. But then the other Azimios refused. But one of the reasons why the other Azimios refused is that Raila had 4 positions and Raila himself did not want any. So it was easier for him to. Now take the 3. The 3. One is for Jubilee, one is for NAK Kenya, and one is for Wiper. Now Wiper, or even NAK Kenya, or even Jubilee, does Kioni take the ministry or does he appoint? You see, there was hata hiyo, even hiyo kukataa yao, it's also hata kukataa that way. It's also kukataa kwamba maybe if I would have been given 3 cabinet ninge. Sasa unajua, in my party only me being taken, or me being given 1 position. So Gurue alijikaanga kwa, so they refused and Nani had 4. You see, Raila could not go back to Ruto and say, can I have the 3? Or even he would have gone there, he would have been given what? Less than 3. Ruto angeongeza kwa 7 yake. Si ni kweli? And then Ruto went roundabout. And that is why I keep on calling Ruto professor of politics. Imagine, after Raila had 4, just before Raila could complain, Madam Dorcas, okay, Dorcas, I know her personally, she knows me personally. But she's competent, but you see, politically, ilionekana ni mtu ya Raila. Don't you see that? Although she's very qualified, she's the one who was amepitwa mara mingi. She was the one who was supposed to be the DPP. Okay, she applied to be a judge of the what do you call? Court of Appeal. She was not taken. She was supposed to. She's competent. So what happened? Hiyo cabinet imeenda. Gen Z from Sabasaba to today is 99. 1 month. Ruto has moved from a person who maybe was supposed to be packing his bag and doing the Bangladesh thing. He is now very confident. I can tell you, if things don't change, it will be a walkover for him in 2027. That is why I call him professor of politics. A good lemonade maker. Anyway, nitasemekana mimi ni supporter wake. Then today's recording was supposed to talk about impeachment. Sorry to use the word, it will be foolish to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. You can only impeach Rigathi Gachagua on September 2027. But impeaching him now, you can. And who is supposed to be handling the impeachment? The professor of politics, Kipchirchir. So don't expect Kipchirchir to allow for an impeachment. But the impeachment is happening, the talks, not the impeachment, the talks is happening to keep him busy. You see, the thing is, he was very good in handling two people. He was very good in handling Raila. He was very good in handling Uhuru. Now, handling them, his talent has been overtaken by events. And to make matters worse, you see, Mr. Nyaseda, the former Inspector General of Police, was my law instructor during my cadet officer's course. He used to tell us he can never walk at night with a club, rungu. No. Because you walk with a rungu, you meet a mukora who is stronger than you, and he takes that rungu and hits you with that rungu. So don't walk around with a rungu thinking you'll hit wakora. Wakora watakujanganya na wakugonge na. So he used to tell us, if you have no rungu, they'll just slap you and box you. But if you have a rungu, they'll hit it you with a rungu. Now, Rigathi Gachagua is walking around with a rungu. His rungu is mlima. Mi nachunga mambo ya mlima. I can tell my cousin in quotes, that he is constant talking of taking care of the mountain is a poison chalice to him. He is already showing that he's a regional leader. He is a regional leader. And you see, for you to be a deputy head of state, you're not supposed to be a regional leader. You're not supposed to be a regional leader. So that is what he's doing. And he's making it. Now he's making other regions. You remember, okay, Raila is now out of politics. But when Raila was in politics, you remember there was a time he used the philosophy of 41 against 1. So if you start talking of the mountain, some later day Railas will say, this is not a national leader, this is a provincial leader. And you know, we are moving out of Kenya. If you look at regional leaders now, all of them are going. It is only Kalonzo Musyoka who can stand up and say he talks about Ukambani. Any other place, okay, Raila can still talk about Luo Nyanza, but when he becomes the AUC chairman, who will stand up and say, I talk for Luo Nyanza? Who is there to talk of Kisii? Luhya? So you see, we are moving out of a situation where we used to talk tribal. We are national. And he's going to where we are coming from. And then Moses Kuria said that from day one walikuwa na chimbana hata nani na chimba, and then Moses Kuria said Nani can only be impeached over Moses Kuria's dead body, because Moses Kuria knows that if Nani is impeached, Rigathi, if Rigathi is being impeached today, the deputy head of state will go to any other region apart from the mountain. But Ruto would be stupid, sorry to use that word, Ruto would be stupid to remove Rigiji. But especially now that Ruto is a professor of politics. What Ruto has done, first of all, amempa huyu ameacha hii nguruwe ijikange kwa mafuta yake. This thing of saying ninaangalia mambo ya mlima. First of all, he's turning all other places against the hill. That is one. Two, apart from turning other places, Kikuyus, my mother's tribe, they are the most sincere people I've ever known. They have a saying, kere kerione dhiri. They like a clean deal. You do your part, I do my part. And what happens is that trying to show that sisi watu ya mlima everything, no, 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 no. These are people whom, if they play well and somebody comes out, they are the people who can be the first one to accept somebody out of these two regions, Rift Valley and Central, to be the sixth president. But we have people in life, we have people who, when you talk a lot of things and they don't know, they introduce a topic that they, for example, you talk, what can I say? There are examples of people, let's say in your village, when you talk about Wi-Fi, he doesn't know. When you talk about electric buses, he doesn't know. So he'll start introducing, like we Bukusus, started introducing, hey, baba anachi nyimband, whatever. And then he changes the topic to the topic that he knows, and talks about it 3 hours. By the time he finishes, you have forgotten about kina Wi-Fi. Why am I saying so? Rigathi Gachagua has no topic. He cannot talk development. He cannot talk anything. Everything that he knows is about something that about his village. So and the mountain. So he will always be talking about that. And you'll see that from the word go, the mountain is not strictly loyal to him. You see what Moses Kuria said, that from day one tulianza kuchimbana na hata yeye mwenyewe anachimba wengine. So that thing it takes a lot of time. I've asked myself, and I've asked you, and I've commented in the past, supposing the mountain has to choose between Ruto and Rigiji. For the first time in our plural politics, Rigiji may take 60% and Ruto would take 40%. And you know, taking 40% of the mountain's vote, you see Rigiji goes around saying that what Ruto got 48% came from the mountain. So it means that Ruto will get, whatever Ruto gets, it will be less than 48%, which would go to something like 25 to 26. Then he will have to regain that from other areas. And you know, when he gets 25, 26, just the massive Luo vote, if Raila approves, would counter that. But I know, and I've always said, that Ruto is a professor of politics, something that Raila did not see. Ruto, I think Ruto is so careful that he does not like losing a vote. You see, losing 7 votes and gaining 10 votes, you'll just look and say, hey, I've added 10, but the reality, you have added 3. I know I deal with people who are very emotional, but let's go to the people who voted Raila in 2007 in Rift Valley. To be specific, Kalenjins. We can look at it in 2 ways. We can look at it in percentage, and we can look at it in the number of people voted. Assuming, I don't have the figures in my mind, but assuming Raila got 4 million in Rift Valley, 4 million votes in Rift Valley in 2002. I'm only giving 4 million as an example because I don't know the figures. Now, in 2013, the next election, if Raila would have gotten just a quarter of what he got in 2000 in Rift Valley, we would not even been talking of votes have been stolen or anything. No. Of course, we know Rift Valley was carried away by Kipchirchir, but I'm just saying, supposing Raila would have even got a quarter or a third of, not even by percentage, by number of votes, because in 2007, 4 million in percentage, and then you'll find that Rift Valley in 2013 maybe there would be 4.5 million. So I was just saying that if Raila got 4 million votes in 2007 and then got 1 million, because the whole province went away from him. Now, I think Ruto would be miscalculating, or if I have to be frank, would be stupid to ignore the vote and just say, wachana na mlima. No, he has to work it out. And that is how you find that people in people in the mountain are so divided. You know, when they are divided, it gives the other areas a chance, and also it also shows that should there be a fair fight in the mountain, if should there be a fair fight in the mountain, Ruto can still get something substantial. And again, don't forget that Kikuyus, my mother's tribe, are business people. Now, for Ruto to go to Raila, this is how I think Kikuyus are seeing it. Kikuyus are not seeing it as going to the enemy, no. Kikuyus are seeing it as stabilizing the business environment. Stabilizing the business environment. So to the Kikuyus are not seeing that Raila has taken in 4 ODM ministers. No. To Kikuyus, they are seeing that the business environment is becoming better and better, so they can now concentrate on their daily business mitumbas. That is how it is. So, do not expect. Okay, you know, politicians are some of the people who should be lining up at Madare to have their heads checked. But still they do and whatever. But I want to say it now. Today is Nane Nane. I want to say it now that I don't see Gachagua being impeached, and I'm only saying him being kept busy na hiyo vitu ya ABCD. I'm wondering, nowadays I don't hear him talking about illegal pombe and those things that he used to do. He has stopped. I don't know. It's a long time since I last went to Central. I don't know whether the illegal whatever. But I'm hearing him talking about kahawa and whatever. So him, you can see he's definitely not doing any work. He's only looking at political and business interest of the mountain. Lastly, I would want to advise young Kenyans, especially those who are not from the big tribes, start setting yourself aside nationally so that we have the 6th president from another tribe. And it would be better if we had a Ronald Gideon Ngala, if we had such people taking over. Someone from a very small tribe, but somebody accepted countrywide. Thank you.